Good morning, my friends. Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Good morning. All right, welcome to the first follow-along video for the second week of homework. This follow-along video is for odd-numbered mornings. Let us begin by sharing screens. Welcome to my desktop. We are going to begin with the prayer of refuge and bodhicitta using the triplet chant. In the Supreme Buddha, Dharma and Assembly, I take refuge until attaining enlightenment through the merit of practicing generosity, and so on may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit beings. First two lines, taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, which he taught, and the assembly of those who enthusiastically apply his instructions. That makes this a Buddhist practice. The second two lines, engaging our motivation in order to attain Buddhahood, not just for self-satisfaction, but for universal benefit, that makes this a Mahayana practice. Let us continue. In the Supreme Buddha, Dharma and Assembly, I take refuge until attaining enlightenment through the merit of practicing generosity, and so on may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit beings. In the Supreme Buddha, Dharma and Assembly, I take refuge until attaining enlightenment through the merit of practicing generosity, and so on may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit beings. Khyentse Rinpoche reminded us that we begin and end our meditation with the thought of universal benefits. Now we'll review what we've already learned in the previous week. On the crown of my head and those of all other sentient beings pervading space, on a white lotus and moon from free appears noble and supreme Chenrezig. He is brilliant, bright, and radiates the five lights. Let's try this again. He is brilliant, white, and radiates the five lights. Handsome and smiling, he looks on with eyes of compassion. He has four hands, of first to joint in Anjali, the lower to hold a crystal mala and a white lotus. Adorned with ornaments of hemp and jewels, he carries a deer across his shoulders. Amitabha crowns his head, his 2 feet are in the Vajra posture. Here we see the use of hemp and not cotton because this is a reference to being ecologically minded. We see a reference to hemp and not silk because this is a reference to be compassionate minded and vegan. Let's continue. His back rests against the stainless moon. He is the embodiment of all objects of refuge. In the first week, you did Buddha bowing at the end of your practice. This week, you do Buddha bowing both before and after the practice. So let's just chant it 3 times before we actually do the Buddha bowing. Lord white in color and stand by false a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion, Shin we bow to you. Lord white in color and stand by false a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion, Shin we bow to you. Lord white in color and stand by false a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion, Shin we bow to you. Now, let's do the actual Buddha bowing. I tell you, you do 14 bows before and after meditation, 2 to 4 times a day, and you will be fit. 4 times a day, and you're doing a personal retreat, maybe once a week or once a month, twice a day at the rest of your life. If you're doing it twice a day, you may want to do 2 sets of 28, but I will never force you. Please carry your mala upon your right index finger. This will help give you the energy to meditate. And we will only be counting for approximately 1/8 of a mala. Lord by color and stained by fault, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, we bow to you. This wonderful exercise helps to ensure proper posture when sitting, which can prevent a host of problems. Lord, when I color and stained by fault, a perfect Buddha upon your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, we bow to you. Once again, you'll want to use a Tibetan-style mala with 112 beads or 108 beads in 4 spaces, depending how you count. You can get them through the website or through Amazon. Be sure to get them. Lord, in color and stained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, bow to you. Lord, what in color and stained by faults, a perfect Buddha upon your head. Adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, we bow to you. Lord, what in color and stained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, we bow to you. Quick reminder, this again is for odd mornings. Lord, what in color and stained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. Look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, we bow to you. Lord, what in color and stained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Zig, we bow to you. Lord, what in color and stained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Shin Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Generation, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Generation, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. Look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Generation, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. Look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Generation, we bow to you. Last one, make it count. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. Look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Generation, we bow to you. Okay. Now, Buddha bowing is a nearly perfect exercise. What we're going to do next is do 2 additional exercises which complete it, so we get the entire body to serve us in an optimal manner. The next exercise is going to be vertical Shin pulling. Since this is an odd number morning, we work with our left shin. Left hand at the bottom, thumb on top, right hand on top, thumb on top. Sit with a straight posture, as straight as you know how to make it. With your right leg push back, and with your arms pull in. You've pre-exhausted your core by doing the Buddha bowing. So this increases the likelihood of you using your pulling muscles. All right. The second 2 adjunct exercises are a version of upward facing plank. We begin with our legs straight in front of us, the body at a 90-degree angle. We place our hands behind our back, 1 handspan, 2 handspan behind us. We lean back, we lift our tush off the ground, and put a subtle bend in our knees, very subtle. And we thrust our hips forward. Because we've pre-exhausted our core, it means we'll be relying more upon our biceps femoris and our gluteus minimus. This truly helps to stabilize our pelvis as well as the sacroiliac joint, which can prevent a lot of physical hardships. There you go. Now you're equipped to receive or cultivate the body of a tantric sex god. Welcome back to my Zafu. Many people start the day with half a liter of reverse osmosis water with the juice of half a lemon. Because caffeine ain't your friend. We now begin the mantra meditation. We have 4 elements: fire, earth, water, and air. We have 3 modalities or or which are cardinal, fixed, and immutable. 3 times 4 is 12. Therefore, we have 12 elemental permutations. We will touch upon each of the 12 in the next few minutes. We begin by counting our mala on our right little fingers, thus enabling us to access cardinal fire. Last week we intoned the mantras. This time we are whispering them as rapidly as we can, as we comfortably can. Every week you'll get more and more comfortable with this. How loudly do we whisper? Not just loud enough for your collar to hear you or for the tip of your nose to hear your lips. Not very loud at all. We're sitting. When you get comfortable, you'll be able to count 9 to 10 mantra per breath. For the second exercise, please count your mala upon your right index finger. This will help us to access cardinal air. May rays from Chenre Zig overhead transform each being's environment into Sukhavati. Please continue to count your mala upon your right index finger while simultaneously touching the tip of your left index finger to its thumb. 2 index fingers help us to access fixed air. How relax into the awareness of this place. Remember, the purpose of Tokal is not to give us perfect visualization practices. The purpose of Tokal is to help us cultivate the compassion of sharing good things with all beings and the insight of letting go of all things, even in their optimized aspect. Let's face it, it's easy to let go of things when they suck. How so? Now, we're going to count our mala upon our left index finger, giving the digits of our right hand a rest. This is mutable air. How sitting? Let us scroll down. Please count your mala upon your right little finger while simultaneously touching the tip of your left little finger to your thumb. Pinkies are fire. 2 pinkies is fixed fire. May rays from Chenre Zig overhead transform each being's body into a Chenre Zig. Please count your mala upon your right middle finger while disengaging the digits of your left hand. How relax into the awareness of this body. And look, there's an error there. We have the 12-syllable mantra. What we really, really want is a 6-syllable mantra. Nothing like typos to keep you on your toes, eh, folks? Please continue to count your mala upon your right middle finger while simultaneously touching the tip of your left middle finger to its thumb. 2 middle fingers, that's fixed water. Please count your mala upon your left middle finger while giving the digits of your right hand a rest. Left middle finger is mutable water. May raise from Shin Zig overhead transform each being's speech into the 6 syllables. Please count your mala with your left little finger. The little finger is fire, and the left one is mutable. How relax into the awareness of this speech. Please count your mala upon your right ring finger. Ring finger is water, and the right one is cardinal. What thinking? You'll notice we count much slower on the ring finger than we did on the index finger. That's natural. Please continue to count your mala upon your right ring finger while simultaneously touching the tip of your left ring finger to its thumbs. 2 ring fingers means it's fixed earth. May rays from Shin Zig overhead transform each being's thoughts into mindfulness, insight, and compassion. Please count your mala upon your left ring finger while giving the digits of your right hand a rest. Left ring finger is mutable earth. How to relax into the awareness of this mind. And that's a little bit more than 1 mala of the 6-syllable mantra. We now conclude. This concludes the mantra meditation. We now prepare for silence meditation. This is where we really get into the specialized elemental permutations specifically set up for this practice. During an odd morning, we work with the fire element. Come, let us count our mala upon our left little finger. This will be mutable fire, optimal for big picture thinking, as well as helping us to access the archetype of the benefactor, which is a wonderful metaphor for both ultimate and conventional bodhicittas of wisdom and compassion. I'm going to set the timer to keep us honest. On the in-breath, noticing. On the out-breath, relaxing. The out-breath is bold. That's when we advance the mala. This is the Sambhogakaya. We are going to now cultivate the Sambhogakaya's deep mindfulness. And perhaps you'll notice your eyes being drawn toward the floor, placed 1 or 2 meters in front of you. Our job is not to suppress thought. Our job is not to indulge thought. We simply passively notice whatever manifests, be it circumstantial or physical or emotional, or intellectual or mnemonic or phantasmagoric, or coarse or subtle, or pleasurable or painful, or glorious or grotesque. Okay, that was half a mala, and that's all we're going to do this morning. We now turn our attention to the second third of our silent meditation. We will continue to work with our fire element. However, this time, while we continue to count the mala upon our left little finger, we will simultaneously touch our right little finger to its thumb. 2 little fingers is fixed fire. This helps us to plug into the archetypes of the natural born leader, the king of charisma. On the in-breath, the word noticing is bold. That's when we will advance the mala. Our eyes will be drawn straight in front of us, if not immediately, then eventually. Rather than using a sharp foveal vision, use the soft peripheral vision. Gaze rather than stare. I should say, softly gaze rather than sharply stare. Let's continue. Noticing, relaxing. That completes our second half mala. Now approach the final third. And we will notice that neither noticing nor relaxing is bold. We're going to divide the effort of advancing the mala between our in-breath and our out-breath. During the in-breath, extend the thumb, reaching it over in front to the next bead. In the out-breath, we're going to pull that bead over our finger. You're going to do so upon our right little finger, while giving the digits of our left hand a rest. Our right little finger is cardinal fire, and it has a great deal to do with courage, bravado, aggression, self-assertion, and the like. Now, after this practice, don't be surprised if you feel a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more self-assertive. Just bring it into the path of noticing and relaxing, and you'll be fine. On this path, it's very important that we do not ignore or indulge or repress the various facets of our personality, but that we work with them, we draw them into the light, to balance them, and to benefit from them. Not unlike the lesson to be learned from the 1980s Jim Henson movie, The Dark Crystal. It should be available on Netflix DVD. We're going to continue forward for approximately a half mala. Do not be surprised if your eyes are drawn up. Do not strain your cervical spine. Do not strain the muscles around your eyes. Let things occur naturally. And if you do feel tension, don't be scared to adjust your posture or momentarily close your eyes to give them a relax. Remember, this is not torture. This is something much better. This is training. It is ironic that our air energy is more spontaneous of the elements, but the fact it's cardinal air means that it could be spontaneous assertiveness. So we want to rely not on second guessing, but on noticing and relaxing, and give ourselves permission to make mistakes. Do not justify the mistakes, do not fatalize the mistakes, simply learn from them from this place of centered vulnerability. Noticing, relaxing. On the path of contrivance, you may avoid a lot of superficial mistakes, but you will not complete the path. The only way to complete the path is to leave your comfort behind and enter the path of spontaneity. Maybe two extremes, contrivance and chaos. The middle point is centered spontaneity. We do not pull pleasure to us. We don't push pain away. We simply notice and relax passively. That concludes the final third of our silent meditation. It could be said that our verbal recitations are training in compassion, in the spontaneous compassion of the Samugakaya. Our Togo mantra meditation are training in the view of wisdom. And the silent meditation is indeed training in meditation. View, meditation, and action, the essence of the Noble Eightfold Path. Let us now recite 2 quatrains of universal compassion. We shall do so, well, chanting it in the triplet manner. The physical appearance of myself and others is the body of the Noble One. Sounds are the melody of the 6 syllables, also the expansive great wisdom. By this merit may we quickly accomplish Avalokiteshvara and establish every being without exception in that state. Avalokiteshvara is Sanskrit for Chenrei Zig, both of which refer to the Buddha of compassion. Sometimes known as Kuan Yin, sometimes known as Kwanzaan Bosatsu, sometimes known as Kwanteam, depending upon which language you're working with. As promised, it's time for the second set of bowing. So move your zafu and open up your yoga mats. Reach for your mala, and this time we're going to count the mala upon our left index finger. We've already used our energy to meditate. Now we're going to have a bit more playful, spontaneous, uber spontaneous energy to take us through the adventure of our day. 1/8 of a mala. Here we go. Lord, but in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha upon your head. Adorning your head. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Chenrei Zig, we bow to you. Lord, but in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Chenrei Zig, we bow to you. We trill the R's in Sanskrit, we don't trill the R's in Tibetan. So between my Spanish training and my Sanskrit training, I really annoyed the Tibetans with my unnecessary trilling. Lord, but in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha. Adorning your head, you look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Chenrei Zig, we bow to you. Woo! Look at that. Lord, but in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. Look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Chenrei Zig, we bow to you. Don't be too impressed with my Spanish training or my Sanskrit training. I am not a polyglot. I've mastered 1 sentence in Espanol. Mantra Lama Chenrei Zig, constant perfect protector. Oopsie. Try this again. Lord, but in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Chenrei Zig, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head, you look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Last one, make it count. Lord, what in color, unstained by faults, perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon beings with eyes of compassion. Shin, we bow to you. Let's coil our Lama. Now, let's do the two extra exercises. This is an odd number morning, so we're going to work with our left shin. This time we're going to tuck the top of our left foot underneath the knee of our right leg, as if our legs are describing the number 4. We're reaching, I'm not sure if you can see what's going on. Okay, so these legs are bent, left foot under left knee, right knee. So we grab our left shin with an under grip. Remember, we've exhausted our core by doing the Buddha bowing. We adjust the angle of our right leg to make sure that we are keeping the heel on the floor. We now, with as straight a back as we can, pull in using the muscles of our arms and back. All right. Training the back muscles not only makes you look good, but it's great for your posture, which is why we do it. It's excellent for our meditation. We're now going to perform, again, upward facing planks, subtle bend in our legs, hands to span behind our tush, lift up, and now thrust to train our biceps femoris and our gluteus minimus. It's imperative that these exercises be done after Buddha bowing and not before. Otherwise, the abs, the robustness of our core strength will help us to cheat, and we do not want that. For the only person we are cheating is ourselves. So yes, it's fun to look good naked for your tantric partner, but it's also really good just to be healthy and fit and be able to sit for longer and longer periods of time in meditation without undue discomfort. We do not exercise to gain slim, we eat right to get slim. There's a link below. There's a lovely book by a young vegan. You can buy the PDF from her. I earn 0 commission. It'll tell you how to eat right, eat to satiety with no caloric restriction, with no hunger, in a sustainable way. Because let's face it, if we're overweight, that's a burden on our organs, that's a burden on our skeleton, that's a burden on our joints. And that pain, that fatigue, can interfere with our meditation. So while it's nice to be pretty, it's even more nice to be able to meditate efficiently. Let us conclude with 2 additional quatrains of universal well-being. Again, we shall chant it using the triplet chant. By the merit of meditating and reciting in this way, may we and all beings with whom we are connected, as soon as we have left behind this impure body, but miraculously born in Sukhavati, who has a connection with us? Anyone who sees us, or hears us, or touches us, or thinks of us. That's one of the reasons why Buddhist monks dress so unusually, so folks will notice us and develop a karmic connection with us. So that even if they never come to class, that karmic connection can still benefit them through the death process, which is inevitable. As soon as we are born, then may we traverse the 10 bhumis and benefit others in the 10 directions through our emanations. Whether you are fundamentalist or liberal, whether you are a literalist or figuratist. A Pure Land can be an actual place, or it could be a metaphor for ideal dharma, the experience of ideal meditation conditions in our next life, or next decade, or next year, or next quarter, or next month, or next week, or next day, or next hour, or next moment, which is already here. Do use your follow-along videos every morning and every evening, and then you will be ready for the 3rd class. And you will see subtle changes and subtle evolution occur, even in as little as 2 weeks. You got questions? Write them out in great detail in the comment area below. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Bye-bye now.